Okay, now here's kind of the best part, guys, and this is where I started with my, you can watch. This is where my dreams unfold and what I've been trying to accomplish forever. And there are people in this world that want to try take advantage of that, that want to push um, people out to take the fall for them. But this is about mice and men. This is about this is about courage. This is about being brave. This is having courage. So it does have good structure for character development for a story. Unfortunately, it's more difficult than you guys can possibly imagine for me to get everything out there. Everything, the pages of every textbook, every sketchbook, every piece of art that I have, all kind of sing this song of this story. And it is a love story. It still is a love story. I um every man, like the most emotional part of my life was when marriage went legal. Well, first of all, the most emotional part in my life was when I came to the realization that I was gay, and this was in high school. And I'm very, I'm a Christian. I have that belief, and when I realized, I was crying. I was like, no, this can't be. I can't be gay. But of course, I'm gay. It goes, goes beyond nature to go against that. Your own. Love and cherish and compassion and wanting to build a family. And that's what made me break down in high school, crying my eyes out. Was that at the time marriage was not legal, so it wasn't even in the books, guys. Like, it wasn't even something worth I was thinking of. It was, I'm gay. That means I won't have a family. I won't have a husband. Um, I think at the time civil unions was like the best thing that was being passed around as an option. Um, so that feeling of having that part of yourself stripped away from you is awful. Um, but um, but then also the other part where I broke down was when marriage did become legal, and I cried all the way from Norfolk across the bridge to Hampton. It was the most enlightening, most beautiful tears of joy that I've ever had, and that it's possible to get married and to never give up on that. And the gay community, especially myself, you get, I think in the gay community we kind of give up on that life that we want to live of being married, finding that guy to be next to you every day, pillow talking, and you had a hard day at work, or you're proud of, for going to work and working hard and coming home, and you got a dog, a cat, you have kids, you adopt kids, you travel. That's the American dream, and that's it would be. Um, can you imagine who would want to take that away from somebody who believes that too? And going looking at these other videos, what kind of monster, what kind of insecure person wants to take that away from gay people? Um, not those people that come from love or compassion. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. And I mean damned sure. um, so there's things in our lives that we gotta let go of for us to move forward. Um, we're kind of getting into it too. So I started writing a love story. Um, Originally, it did have to do, I loved music. Music was my passion. Music gets me excited. It's that energy. That's that core of every person's soul that screams, you're free. It's the one part where you let go of control and you let that music just take control, um, of your body. And it's especially on a dance floor, in a crowd, or by yourself. You do that, and you let that freedom sing. Um, and it's important for you guys to understand that I still do this, even under the situations I've been, even when you feel like you're being watched. I'm an awkward guy to begin with, but to have that confidence to go out by yourself on the dance floor in front of everybody, while being watched, and having people joke on you, not paranoid of the people around you, but people that actually don't like you for who you are as a gay man, that will shred you apart on your personality, and shred you apart, just because you kind of let go of your inhibitions sometimes. You make mistakes. You sleep with people you didn't quite intend to, but even with those people, when you're in bed with them, you still see that passion. Like, could this be the person? Like, could something work with this person? You always have that in you, no matter. And I think the gay community can agree with me on that. We always get accused of being promiscuous and everything. Sure, that sexual attraction is there usually in the forefront. Which is a little different with me. I kind of, but you still ended up, that's the high misconception of the gay community, that when we're in bed with somebody, and it's even between partners, like you both are there to 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 sleep with each other, to have that sexual interaction, that passion. But even there's that point sometimes with those people or different lovers that you're both like, should I say it, or is this something that could be something, or in the future, I would love to date this person. So many times we say this to each other, and nobody ever says it to each other, and then we're like, oh, okay, it was just that or whatever, and then we let go of those things. We have so many missed opportunities to find like great partners because we hold back that side of ourselves. That's the emotional part, and that's the most difficult part to speak. That's the courage on any. That's the courage on any relationship, or any interaction with somebody. When you hold back those feelings, man, um, it's not always regret. It's just like, you wonder if that could have been, or that could have been, or maybe you see that person somewhere down the line. Um, and that's true courage in the gay community. I think is that emotional level. It's so easy for us to make jokes, you know, to kind of slide ourselves out of that situation, or there's a lot of bitterness in our community too, and I think so much of it is because we're not being emotionally open. Um, but then again, we are some of the most affectionate people, and we love seeing each other, even in past relationships, or if they end up being with somebody else, you're still friendly with them. You still give them a hug, a kiss. That's the coolest part about gay culture. I think is there's a lot of bitterness or backlash, or shade. There's a lot of shade thrown around, but at the same time, we do a pretty damn good job about holding our own and showing that affection, and kissing each other and hugging each other. Um, I'm still kind of awkward. I'm not the best person at doing that, but I still try to express that part of myself. Um, and even when I can't do that, that's where my art and my heart and my music sings, and that's a huge part of this story. So I'm going to finish up this video kind of. Guys, I don't know what's going to happen to me in the future. To be honest, I've got such a strong passion for this country. I've got such a strong passion for um, that love that can come from any side in any direction across the aisles. That love that those building those bridges, and that context of um, seeing the beauty when we start working together, and when we start um, getting past um, those fears, and this whole thing is a love story that I was writing. Maybe um, no, I'm not gonna make a video like a Aesop story, goodbye. I've seen other people make those mistakes. I'm here to stay in this country. I'm here to stay and to live and to be free, and to make sure that I live in a good profession. I work my ass off in a profession in the creative sector that designs great places, for people to come together. Um, and all these videos too, these ideas and everything. If anybody bites off of it, you're open to being sued, and especially because the hard work that I've gone through and the sacrifices I've gone through and my family's made, we deserve to have that income and that money. So nobody bites off this story and gets away with it. That's extortion, expulsion, that's jail time. Um, just because of this video that I'm saying, it's non-disclosure agreement. This isn't even non-disclosure agreement. This is saying, this is my story. back off. Um, but so just be careful for other people. Like, oh, this, such a sad story. Let's do something, make something of it. But I trust my family. I trust that part of the good people out there that would be that would reach out. You know, that would reach out and see the beauty in life and love and compassion. Um, so, and the cool part about the story, and I'll kind of wrap this up a little bit, but the cool part about the science fiction story I was writing was kind of where you find you cross your lovers in the dream world. You see your lovers in the dream world and their future lover. They're there. You'll catch their eye, and there's still something true to that. I believe you cross those angels, and even if you don't see them in real life, sometimes they're out there. You know damn well that those people that you're going to meet are going to be out there. You don't lose hope of that. You know that they will be there, and those paths will cross, guys, for all of you, for all of us. Our paths will cross, and we will find that love and cherish it. And when it hits us, be the most beautiful, beautiful thing. I myself can't, you know, be in a long-term relationship, marriage, and having that solidified, living the dream and designing I don't know, I always dream of what those ceremony would look like. I always thought, you'd have the white, the purple, the lime green, and the mango. I think that'd be a really cool theme for the color scheme, and then having like threaded flowers that hang and dangle everywhere, and outdoors, live band, white tuxedo. Those are just the dreams that everybody loves and cherishes. And so this is my story. Well, it's interesting too. You have the dynamics, and if anybody tries to use this story to break other people's hearts more, I would forgive, first of all, anybody's hearts that are being broken, saying, listen, this is what, don't allow that to happen. Help it make you stronger. Help it become so much stronger and so much powerful, because if anything happens to me, that's because the worst people believed and believe that the dream is achievable and possible. That's what puts fear into them, is they believe it. So start believing it. Do you understand? Believe it more than they believe. And once that triggers you guys into understanding that, you know, if your enemies try to push us and divide us because they are terrified of us coming together and finding that true love and that true heart inside of each one of us, that's what they're afraid of. And they call themselves men because they're emotionally unaware or unable to treat each other around them with respect, so they don't even have to come to those conclusions that they are the enemy. Why do they pin that negativity on themselves and think they're so freaking cool, It's easy. The easy road is destruction. It doesn't take any, I could push a vase over right now and destroy it and be, haha, I'm a badass. And I'd be like, all right, badass, let's see you make that again. Let's see if you can, it's easy to destroy something, make it, and that takes more energy, more time. Guess what? An economic boom, based off of that very foundation. So, and then we don't let the people who are dividing this country be those people to take credit for that. So, again, creation is the key to our peace and our achievements, and creativity, and that goes to so many levels too. You have like, because it requires working with those those people that understand, yes, the logistics and the numbers and the business part of it, and the um, those people that are they don't understand that they're profiting off of Wall Street and profiting off of these big businesses and everything, but you're still losing ground in integrity and respect from everybody else, because that hasn't quite, you're pushing yourselves further away from this amazing um, ensemble of a creative palette that is celebratory of the very best parts of yourselves, and then you can be revered by those people around you as something cool, something kick-ass. Like, you managed to do this and work with these people, the the hippies and the pot smokers and the musicians and the artists, and then you have the structured mind, the framed mind, the business side of it, and then the merging of those two together to create something beautiful in this world. It has no labels whatsoever. It's just kind of the, how can we produce that together? Because that's, instead of resisting, then that's where that's where the love stories come into play. We see a lot of people complaining, oh, they don't like us, and then get this friction and everything. But what if we just kind of take out that middle part that's just this agonizing, pushing all of us into to no good reason, and then that the energy of that love and those love stories will come from the most unexpected places, and the most beautiful places, and those beautiful love stories about cherishing even our foes, and lifting each other up in the best ways possible. So love is unconditional, and you respect the fact that we are here. When we're born into this life, we have learned to nurture and care for each other and have that compassion, and that family, and protecting your families, and other people are trying to protect their families, and we're all trying to do the exact same thing. So what it comes down to too is the families, and your mother that gave birth to you, and giving respect, and being grateful for that, instead of um, destroying the things that are, instead of the opposite, and instead of the opposite, trying to tear us away from those things that are valuable, and respecting women, and children, and mothers, and all those great things, and being revered as um, great people, honorable people, dignified people. It's time to get rid of this sensationalism, and finally say we had enough. This is what we got to do. It's going to take a lot of strength on both sides, on all sides, the whole prism, to dig deep on that emotional level, apologize, or forgive, and forget, and move forward. Let's and open yourselves up to finding the beauty in other religions, and the beauty and those caretakers of other religions, of what they're trying to do. How are they being humanitarians? You guys have no idea. You bash other religions, but you don't see what kind of great things they're doing as well, that aligns with those same things that's at the very top of the pyramid of what your religion is supposed to be doing, and that compassion. So there's the cranberries, no need to argue, all this hoopla for nothing. um, So this is the chapter of love, and achieving that. I've dealt with the whole facet of people that don't want me to love them. If I can put that the best way possible, they intentionally try to agitate me, so that I don't love them. And it's hard to explain. Um, but using resilience of humor and having a sense of humor, I've fought my way through using that humor, and that even builds, whether they want to believe it or not, a companionship and a partnership that should be respected. Um, a certain um, a certain unconditional love that should be revered as something valuable. But I'm not here to speak on anybody's behalf, because I know what comes from here in myself, and that's just about it. And I would hope that other people could learn to, push the best sides of themselves out that also supports something like this. That's all that has to happen, really, is what part of yourself also supports something like this, because it's going to be pretty good for everybody here in the future. 5 to 10 years from now, we're going to look back and be like, man, this hoopla, all this division, it was intense, but it was for nothing. It was all for nothing. All this hoopla for nothing. But we learned so much in that time. And that is important. So much love, guys. I will continue talking about the story that I was not talking about in this video. Okay, yeah, I guess I will.